Hello, welcome to badly translated story time. Mr. Tickle. It was a warm, sunny morning. Mr. Tickle was in his little house behind a tree, is sleeping. Didn't you know there is such thing as a tick? Oh, there it is. The tick is small and round, with outstretched and elongated arms and stretch. Extraordinarily long arms. Mr. Tickle fell fast asleep. He had a dream. No shish. It was a very funny dream because it made him laugh so hard it woke him up. He sat on a bed, stretched out his unusually long arms and sighed loudly. Mr. Tickle was hungry, so do you know what he did? He stretched out one of his unusually long arms and opened it. The bedroom door went down the stairs and opened the kitchen door. Went into the kitchen cupboard, opened and took out the biscuit and the biscuit. He brought it up again through the bedroom door. Mr. Tickle is in bed. As you can see, it's very useful to be in the hands of a lord. Stand up! Mr. Tickle ate a biscuit. He looked out the window. It's like a crispy day today, he thought to himself. So in the morning, Mr. Tickle made the bed and finished cooking. After breakfast, he set off through the woods. As he walked, he opened his eyes wide and searched someone tickling. I'm looking for a crunchy person. Finally, Mr. Tickle came to school. There was no one, so it was a special duration. As the weapon climbed to the top of the window, Mr. Tickle, why do I keep calling him Tickle instead of Tickle, lifted himself up, looked out the open window. Inside he saw the class, but didn't it say there was no one in there? The children were sitting at the desk, just one desk and a bunch of children, and the teacher was writing bored. Mr. Tickle waited a minute and then entered through the window. I'm pretty sure that's breaking and entering. Mr. Tickle's unusually long hand came to the teacher, paused, and then tickled. The teacher jumped into the air and turned very quickly to see who was there, but no one was there. Mr. Tickle laughed. He waited another minute, then tickled the teacher again. This time he continued to tickle, and soon the teacher laughed and shouted, Stop! Stop it! Again and again. All the children laughed at such a funny scene. There was a terrible pandemic. In the end, Mr. Tickle thought he was having fun, so he gave the teacher another tickle for good luck, and then very quietly he turned his hand away from the open window. He laughed to himself, jumped out the window, and left the window. The teacher carefully explained what it was. So there's this really creepy dude who keeps tickling people for no bloody reason. Of course he couldn't. What? Then Mr. Tickle went to the city. What day was Mr. Tickle? 1970s. He tickled a police officer at the crossroads, the centre of the city. This caused a big traffic jam. As he carefully piled the apples, he tickled the vegetable shop window. The vegetable observer fell backwards and the apple rolled in all directions shop. At the railway station, a security guard tried to fly the flag depart train. As he raised his hand in the air, Mr. Tick tickled him. And every time he tried to fly his flag, Mr. Tick tickled it. The train was 10 minutes late from the station. The passengers were furious. That day Mr. Tick tickled everyone. He tickled the doctor, he tickled the butcher. He even tickled the old Mr. Postman Stamp, who had dropped everything. The letters become a pond. Then Mr. Tickle went home. He sits in a chair in a small house across the room. The tree laughed and laughed. laughed every time he thought of everything he tickled people. So if you are crunchy in any way, Mr. Tickle, and beware of his unusually long arms. Just think, maybe he's somewhere right now as you read this book. Maybe his amazingly long arm is bent at the door of his room, probably opening the door and entering the room now. Maybe you'll be fine before you know what's going on. Really tickled. And that was badly translated, Mr. Tickle. Have fun.